Hello, thank you for joining us. This is Off the Press. My name is Felicity Ezewuikei. Of course, it's Ramadan month. Welcome to the holy month of Ramadan. May the month bring us joy and peace. Thank you once again for joining us. It's a busy Monday across Lagos and across Nigeria, actually. And we thank you for sharing a few minutes to get to know what is on the headlines this morning. We have a couple of papers. I'm writing solo, by the way. The Nation newspaper, the Vanguard, the Punch, we have the Guardian, and of course we have a bit of sports. Let's see if we get lucky and get someone come in and talk sports with us. You know I'm no good at that. All right, the Nation newspaper has a couple of screamers. Massive operations against criminals begin nationwide. Can to Buhari rein in criminals. Katsina CP relocates to Daura. And that's the front page on your screen right now, showing you the second Niger bridge in Anambra and Delta State during inspection of the progress of work on the bridge by Vice President Yemi Oshibanjo, along with the Minister for Power, Works and Housing, Babatunde Fashola. Those are some of the pictures for you on the front page. Seems a lot of work is going on there. Massive operations against criminals, well, that's yet to be seen. We still have cases of banditry and along the Kaduna-Abuja highway. We hope something is done to check that as well. We go to the top of the paper, or rather let's go to the bottom. What's showing on your screen right now? We have CBN, 2 billion naira stolen as fraudsters target mobile apps users. That's something for you. The businessmen are also on the front page of the paper today. Let's go to the top now. There you have it. JAMB begins verification of 1.8 million candidates. You find details on page 7. We also have Rivers PDP alleges conspiracy at tribunal. Tribunal drama. Find details of that on page 40 of the paper. Hope you find time to read details. Ramadan begins today, says Sultan. You find details on page 11. Again, I say happy holy month. Aluko and Oyebode defends its integrity. Tanzania woos Eagles for friendly. Governors to lose control of council funds. Details of that is on page 7. Let's take a sneak peek at that. What is it about? Let's see. Governors may lose control of local government funds from the Federation account going by the new Nigerian Financial Intelligence Unit guidelines. You might want to read details of that story a bit. All right, we go to the back page of the Nation newspaper. Comment and debate, your usual feature. Waging the peace. Governor Shatima is there. What concerns him and the team for today? You might want to read up for yourself. Hardballs is here. Thomas Hobbs visits Iju Ishaga. What's that about? Is up for grabs when you see your vendors. Ripples, minimum wage bill passage. We have won the first leg. That's according to Labour. And the character is saying, even if you win first, second and third legs, can you win the last leg? It is called inflation. Do you think that we'll be having inflation as a result of the minimum wage? Well, we get to see what happens as the day goes by when they start paying the money, actually, and civil servants are saying, yeah, we're getting the 30,000 naira, then we can begin to gauge how things will be. But for now, pinkies crossed, as they say, that things will not escalate for the Nigerian worker. That's about it on the Nation. You've had some of the headlines. It'd be nice if you go take, if the Nation is your favorite, go ahead and grab a copy from your vendor. But don't be in a rush yet. We still have Vanguard. We'll take a look at that. How we survived bandits' attack. Katsina, Zamfara victims tell your story. There you have it. Inside story on page 5. It's a big one. It has a couple of riders. Bandits kill all men, set our villages ablaze. 15 soldiers killed, 19 wounded in Borno. We lost 5 men, killed scores of terrorists, military speaking. Army bans use of motorcycles in Kano, Zamfara, Sokoto, Kebbi, Katsina, Kaduna, Niger. Security stakeholders task government on urgent intervention. Please, there should be urgent intervention. What's going on up north as per security? It's worrying a whole lot of Nigerians, and it's sounding like some, war-torn areas, so to speak. It's so sad to hear people killed. One life is very, very important. We hope that we don't lose any more. Our president is back in the country, hopefully. That should help speed up action. All right, let's see what other headlines are here this morning. I just mentioned it. Buhari is back. Buhari returns. President Muhammadu Buhari, pictured in the center, returned from a 10-day private visit to the United Kingdom yesterday. There you have it. Truckload of poisonous pomo intercepted in Lagos. That's the skin of animal. Yeah, call it in local parlance, pomo. Well, let's hope something is done to stop this ugly trend. All right, on the left-hand corner of the paper, we have Umar Yar'Adua, legendary visionary leader, says Jonathan Atiku. NGE re-elects Egbemode president. What's that about? That's on page 10 for you. And Rivers is in the news this morning. PDP alleges conspiracy at election tribunal. Always one thing or the other. Wait for the verdict after all the processes have been completed. Power projects, Fashola names defaulting contractors. And of course, Ramadan begins today. That's one of the trending stories. We join in faith with our Muslim brothers and sisters that hope this period goes well. Bad politicians behind Nigeria's insecurity, illegal migration. Onaiko speaking. External borrowing will throw Nigeria into recession again. Anglican Church warns. Methodist Synod declares Nigeria failed state. Not a lot of persons will agree with that. Failed state, Nigeria certainly shouldn't be described as one. We're all working collectively to make sure that we are not a failed state at all. Let's keep praying. Ramadan is here. Let's utilize it properly to pray for this country, to guide our leaders properly to do the right things. All right, we still have some not so nice headlines here. Gunmen abduct OAU lecturer on Ife-Ibadan Road. That's a sad one. IGP has lost weight fighting banditry. Buhari keeps mum on new cabinet. Details on page 9 of the paper. Well, it's his job. Let him take care of himself so he doesn't lose weight. We need him alive. That's the IGP now. All right, let's go to the back page of the Vanguard and see what's there. A little bit of sports. I guess we'll come back to that a little later on the program this morning. We'll just keep the Vanguard on the side now. Just keep it right here. We'll get back to it sometime later. All right, the Punch newspaper is up this morning. How to end godfatherism in Lagos. El-Rufai. That must be a very interesting read. You should find details on page 56 of the paper. We also have tribunal to issue notice to hear Atiku's petition this week. Page 57, just after El-Rufai's story. Still on the Punch, the big screamer this morning, looking at you, is the state of public varsity libraries worrisome, says ASU president, and has this one. If you visit the Kenneth Dike Library, you'll see the level of the wrath there. When there is power outage, the workers, will have to be running around to look for diesel to power the generator. That's if the generator is working. That's a sorry state of things in this country. A Russian-made Superjet 100 catches fire in mid-air and crash lands at an airport outside Moscow. That's the picture that the Punch has chosen to go with this morning as a screamer. Not a pleasant sight, really. We just hope no life was lost. You find details, I'm sure, inside the pages of the Punch newspaper. Ramadan, prices of tomato, pepper rise by 60% in Lagos. Why does this always happen? Why can't people be religious for a period without, us getting into trouble with prices, inflation, and stuff like that? We really need to stop this habit and allow our fellow faithful practice their faith in peace, okay? Police arrest 6 for alleged sale of poisonous pomo. We've taken that story from The Nation, I think. That should be, okay, no, that's on the Vanguard. We took that from the Vanguard. UTME, 5 jailed for exam fraud, 123 others facing trial. At the very top of the paper, I think I missed this earlier, on the Punch newspaper, you will see banks make 124 billion naira from e-transactions. Business-minded people should go to page 29 for details of that. And of course, on the back page of the Punch newspaper, Kobo coins and failed monetary strategy. I haven't seen a coin in years, to be honest with you. I don't even think it's part of our currency right now. It's quite unfortunate, really. In other places, coins still work. You still have £1 in coins. You still have cents. But here in this country, we can't even see is this 50 kobo? It's nowhere to be seen these days. Quite unfortunate. You might want to hear his perspective this morning. Economic Renaissance by Henry Boyo. He's a regular contributor on the Punch newspaper. Please go read up Kobo coins and failed monetary strategy on the back page of the Punch newspaper. And that's where we're going to rest the paper for this morning. We move on to the next now. And what we have is the Guardian newspaper. A picture of the IGPs on the front page with President Buhari. That's the same man that is losing weight. He's always been slim, but does he look like he's losing weight? Let's see. Yeah, that's him on your screen. You tell us your thoughts on that one, okay? Sultan orders urge prayers for Nigeria as Ramadan begins. PDP alleges INEC wants Rivers Guba polls cancelled. We also have EU, Germany move to grow Nigeria's non-oil sector. That's on page 3. Gunmen kill 400-level student in commissioner's house, abduct girl. That's on the metro section of the paper. How shareholders' activism ensures accountability, protects listed firms. That's something for you also on the Guardian newspaper. Again, Boko Haram kills soldiers. It has 3 riders to that story just below that picture. Let's see if they'll move it. Okay. Just below the picture of IGP and the president, you have again Boko Haram kills. That's it on your screen. Kills soldiers. Military confirms 5 dead. Foils attack on Bornu village. Why Islamic sect is reclaiming lost territory. Arrest APC machineries talks. PDP tells security agencies. If you were listening on our news today, this morning, you would have seen it. That story was captured in detail. Our news is coming up in another hour. Okay. The news is coming up in a bit, so you might want to stick around for details of some of these stories if you cannot get to the paper. On the back page of The Guardian is some sports. So I think I'm just going to take a perfect spot. This is a perfect spot to take a break now. And when we come back, I'll be having a sports analyst, hopefully, to join us in this conversation. Just stay with us. It's still Off the Press and Plus TV Africa. Good to know you're still with us. Off the Press, still on your television. All right, complete sports is what we have. And I'm not talking sports alone. That would be a disaster. I have with me our in-house sports analyst, Samson Oloyede. Thank you very much for coming in.
Yeah, pleasure. Good morning.
Good morning to you.
Why did you say it would be a disaster?
You know it will be a disaster. Because I know absolutely little, very little. Okay. But I like the sports world.
You guys are making us behind the scene.
Yes, behind the scene. Let me not air our lenience here. Complete sports is what I have, and we have a couple of headlines here. Ighodalo hits goal number 7 in China. There are 2 riders to that. Onyekuru makes it 13 league goals in Turkey. Success makes 20th substitute appearance. That's something. Chelsea still top 4 place. And we also have CAF, Egypt 2019, 46 days to go. That's a countdown for you. Ronaldo wants Salah at Juventus. Real Madrid pessimistic over Pogba deal. It's all or nothing for City. Pep wary of Vardy threat. Okay, we also have on the back page, nothing actually on the back page today. So which of these for you is the biggest story this morning?
Well, Chelsea still in top 4 place. That's a good one. You know, the battle for the 3rd and 4th spot in the Premier League has been one of a sort of rat race over the last 3 weeks. Unfortunately for the 4 teams, you know, in contention, none of them have been able to fully capitalize on, you know, the slip-ups from other rivals. But Chelsea did that yesterday. Arsenal drew, Manchester United drew, Tottenham Hotspur lost. Chelsea were able to secure the win, and that guaranteed their place for Champions League football. So it's a good one because the pressure in winning the Europa League to qualify for the Champions League is not there anymore. So I think that's quite impressive. And you can say it's a fair way to end the bad season for Chelsea, considering the troubles they've had under Maurizio Sarri's you know, debut season. But for Arsenal, it's not good. Now they have to, you know, put all efforts into winning the Europa League. And they have a 2-goal lead against Valencia. It's healthy enough, you know, to secure a place in the final. But it's always difficult at the Mestalla Stadium. So they have to, you know, do something good in second leg to be able to guarantee themselves. I think if they had won yesterday, they would have given themselves a shot, but they missed it. And it's the Europa League or nothing in terms of Champions League football for us now next season. Well, Ighalo hits goal number 7 in China. Good to know that our top 9 is banging in goals in China, as the, you know, countdown you saw earlier said for 6 days to the biggest, you know, Cup on the continent of Africa.
Is that really?
Yeah, the African Cup of Nations taking place in Egypt for 6 days to go. You want your players to be in the best of shape, you know, as well as form. So it's good to see him not just getting playing time as well as banging in goals. I think it's quite impressive. It's worrisome where you have Ian Achor seeking his first start for Leicester City, and you get the feeling that he won't get it because they're playing against Manchester City. It's a big game against Manchester City, you know, today, this evening, and I'm sure Leicester City will want to go all out. They'll probably start with Vardy, most likely, you know, start with Vardy pending, barring any injury worries. Ian Achor, will he get a look in? Will he come in from the bench? Is yet to be seen, but that's one very good player that will probably not make the African Cup of Nations squad, you know, for Nigeria. So it's a sad one in there. You have United setting deadline for David De Gea's, you know, contract decision. I think for United, a whole lot of decisions have to be made this summer. Definitely, there has to be an overhaul of the team, not just defensively, but even in the middle of the park. Juan Mata is 31. You don't want to beg such a player, you know, for a 2-year contract extension when you still have troubles in the middle of the park. And Pogba is neither here nor there. And considering his performances this season, how inconsistent it's been, you feel that Real Madrid may be skeptical in, you know, tabling an offer for him, especially considering the price tag he would command. So I think in that region, it's understandable that Real Madrid are you know, pessimistic in offering a deal, considering how inconsistent it's been. Overall, the United team has a whole lot to do in terms of the summer, recruiting players, letting some go, and then probably the manager making tough decisions. All
right, let's see if we can take a look at the back page of The Guardian and The Vanguard before we wrap things up. Just a few headlines here on The Guardian Sports. Eyimba hits Rangers 3-1. Aqua maintains Group B lead. Pillars, Heartland, MFM also win. Arsenal blow top 4 hopes as Chelsea takes 3rd place. And then ahead of 2019 FIFA World Cup, the Tigers begin preparation for Canada, Dominican Republic friendlies.
Yeah,
quick thoughts.
Quick thoughts. That's the Nigerian Professional Football League. Eyimba, you know, defeating Rangers 3-1. It's been a bad 3 games for Rangers. They've lost 3 successive games, and it's worrisome because they were top of the league at some point, 4 points ahead. But now they've lost 3 games. It's not looking good for them. Good to see Aqua United maintain the lead, you know, in Group B as well. You get the feeling that Aqua will do enough to qualify, you know, from that group.
Well, let's move to sports on Vanguard quickly.
Okay.
Mikel scores first league goal in 5 years. Ends Middlesbrough romance.
Yes.
We also have Champions League. Salah doubtful. I think we've taken that story before. Red Devils out of Champions League race. Flying Eagle lose to Saudi Arabia. Norwich back in Premier League, win championship title. A lot of headlines here. Quickly.
Mikel scores first league goal in 5 years. It shows you how rarely he gets to score goals. But the stint with Middlesbrough was a short one. It wasn't long. It was just for 6 months. But it's been away from Super Eagles for over a year. you know, in terms of John Mikel Bill, and is meant to be the captain of the team. So it's a bit worrisome that he has not committed himself to the Super Eagles. And now that we have a big tournament in the African Cup of Nations for 6 days away, is he going to come back to the squad? Will Gennaro give him a chance, you know, to lead the team and probably have a final shout at national team duties? It's yet to be seen, but I think that he hasn't led so well in terms of commitment to national team duties. Salah doubtful. It's a big one for Liverpool because Firmino is out due to groin injury. Salah now doubtful for that, considering the injury sustained, you know, against Newcastle United, and they have an uphill task, you know, overturning a 3-goal deficit against Barcelona at Anfield. It's going to be really difficult for Liverpool.
All right. I must say thank you very much, Samson, for coming on the program this morning. But before we go, let's take a look at the Mr. and Mrs. cartoon on the front page of the Vanguard. We have the Mrs. Let's start with the Mr. saying, go on one knee to propose to a woman, not me. It's not only foreign, it's stupid. Did I propose to you that way? That's the question to the wife now. And the wife is responding, your case is different. Your kneecaps were full of sores because you've been kneeling for the wrong women before we met. I guess that's where we wrap it up today. Thank you very much again, Samson. And thank you for spending your morning with us to capture all the headlines making the round. Now it's your turn to go to the newsstand and grab yourself a copy of the paper of your choice. My name is Felicity Ezewuikei. Have a good day.